It is no secret that the Democrat Party would call themselves pro-choice. Some of us would call them pro-abortion. It appears as if the Democrat Party is attempting to abort the midterms. Welcome to the National Briefing. I am Kelly Nash. We are 9 months away from the midterms, and everything seems to have been going the Democrats' way. First off, if you just look at history, there's been 20 midterm elections since 1946. Every one of them have gone to the party that's not in power. So, right there, Democrats, you're supposed to win that. You're supposed to win it. The only two times that the party in power retained power in the midterms was two very weird times in American history, kind of close to each other. One was the 1998 midterms. Bill Clinton. Americans did not like that Republicans impeached Bill Clinton. They didn't like his behavior, but they also didn't like the fact that the Republicans, they felt overreacted and impeached Bill Clinton for lying to Congress. Then there's the 2002 midterms. And again, you're coming off of September 11th, 2001, George W. Bush out there with the bullhorn. These, everybody's going to hear you. It was a very weird time in American history. Those are the only two times since 1946 that the party not in power did not get into power. So you're going to win. You're going to win. And I'll be honest with you, I feel like the Republicans have been trying to help you win. Whether it's Pam Bondi, she has been a disaster, not just this week. I mean, you go all the way back to the original files, all the Epstein files. There's nothing in there. You got a bunch of goofballs that are quote unquote social media influencers at the White House. That looked like a clown show. It's all looked like a clown show from that perspective. From her department, it's looked like a clown show. So that we're not trying to help at that point. But you guys just won't take the win. I am thankful that the Democrat Party sees that they have a healthy midterm election coming and they're attempting to abort it. Because yesterday you have, and by the way, I've seen some confusion from people on social media. The Republicans cannot vote to keep the government open, or in this instance, the Department of Homeland Security, because they don't have the votes. You needed 60 votes in the Senate. Everybody keeps saying simple majority, simple. It's not simple majority unless Dippy Doo over here, who is the new turtle, would decide to actually use the filibuster, but he doesn't have the cojones for that. So we're still going to need 60 votes. They got 52 votes. They got Fetterman on there. But other than that, the Democrats in lockstep said, we hate ICE so much that I know we can't vote on ICE. They're fully funded, but we're going to go ahead and defund TSA. So every American traveler, every airport will become a disaster in the next few days. And then we're also going to defund FEMA, which is dealing with, most of the northern states are going to be, Democrats. So anytime there's a blizzard or whatever like that, you got screwed there. The California fires, they're still dealing with that with FEMA. You're getting screwed there. So you're screwing your own voters in order to say we hate ICE. This is one of the dumbest political moves in history. And then to show how little you actually care, most of them left the country last night. So it seems as if the earliest vote would be 10 days from now to reopen it. So we're locked in to the Democrats' disaster, it seems at this point. All right, now let's go ahead and see how the response went. Because again, Donald Trump, he's trying to manage this mess. ICE has become a mess. What did he do? He replaced Greg Bovino. That should have satiated some of the people on the left. Bovino is a controversial figure. He's going to be hardcore. But Republicans, a lot of people on the right loved Bovino. Not the right tone if you're trying to influence, we'll say, apolitical people or just people in the middle. He's not the right tone. Tom Homan is a better tone, and Tom Homan yesterday early morning announced that we're getting out of Minnesota. We're leaving the state. And I know he didn't say it, but he might as well have said, in a hope that the Democrats will vote now to keep the Department of Homeland Security open. We're going to leave Minnesota. Well, what did you get for that? What did you get for your effort there Tom, you get an insane Tim Walz on a microphone.
They left us with deep damage, generational trauma. They left us with economic ruin. They left us with many unanswered questions. Where are our children?
Where are your children? This is the first I think any of us have heard. Is Tim Walz accusing ICE of stealing children? What children are missing? What are you talking about, you nut job? By the way, the economic ruin, that is totally self-inflicted. It wasn't ICE that was attacking your hotels. It wasn't ICE that was canceling federal agencies from actually fulfilling their hotel reservations. And it wasn't ICE that put all of that on television, had people setting fires to stuff, and then anybody who was possibly considering coming to Minneapolis in the winter, which I have no idea why anybody would do that, they all pretty much said, you know what, I think we're going to sit Minneapolis out for this winter. That's all you, Tom. Or Tim. Anyway, Mika on MS-13 Now, the gang-loving network, she also has a very, this is performative art.
You are cowering away with your tail between your legs and to try and figure out how to deal with these polls. As new NBC News polls find, a majority of Americans have negative views of nearly every aspect of President Trump's aggressive immigration and deportation tactics, what they did in Minneapolis, including killing people at point blank range, shooting them in the head or in the back 9 times, and then accusing them moments later of deserving it. People don't like that.
Yeah, they don't like you either, Mika. I'll just be honest with you. By the way, if you want, just for Google fun, put in qualities of a good television journalist. And things like not trying to manipulate the audience. That's fantastic. Connecting with the viewers through their confident, professional and relatable delivery. MS-13 now violates all of, not just Mika, the whole goofball lineup. And look, these people are willing to sacrifice their own careers to try to manipulate you. And what I mean by that is it was only a few years ago that MS-13 Now, or back then it was, what were they called again? MSNBC. They were averaging over 1 million viewers per morning. They're now down to like 100,000. There's like 90% audience drop. When you look at the TV ratings, this is hysterical. Fox News continues to grow. However, CNN has one show inside like the top 20, and it's the one that they say is, quote, hosted by Abby Hoffman. It's not a host. Nobody watches for Abby. Everybody's watching for the Republican Scott Jennings. The other show is, what's her face? Rachel Madcow. The Mad Cow is the only thing that they want. So it's one night, like Monday nights at 9 or something, is the only other show in like the top 20 or 30 ratings. The rest of the liberal networks are in a free fall. They're down huge, big league, but they don't mind because they think that they're helping the cause. They're willing to sacrifice their careers in order to help the cause. Now, Mika brought up polls. You know, there's polls all over the place. What do the people actually think about the Democrat Party? Harry Enton on CNN pointed out that it's like almost 50% now of Democrats under the age of 30 consider themselves socialists. Yikes. Then what do American voters think of the Democrat Party?
What about all Americans, right? How about all voters? Voters who say the Democrats are now too liberal. Look at this percentage. It was 42% in 96, 48% in 2013. Now 58% in 2025 of all voters say that the Democratic Party is too liberal. The Democrats are moving to the left. The far left is gaining power. And there could be some electoral repercussions because what we see right now is voters, the clear majority, say that they are too liberal.
Like I said, they're trying to abort a perfectly healthy midterm. If you did nothing, if you just took Chuck Schumer and the Dollar Tree Obama Hakeem Jeffries and just said, go do Joe Biden style campaigning, just sit in a closet, don't talk, stay off the cameras, don't do anything, you would win the midterms overwhelmingly because that's what's supposed to happen. And again, the Republicans have not been doing a very good job in this scenario either. So this is yours to, but if you're going to abort it, you know what? Maybe the Republicans can come in and steal one for us. Maybe the golden age can actually launch. Maybe America can be made great again, because what you are doing on the left is scaring the crap out of a lot of voters. The people on the right are coming off like clown shows, Pam Bondi and the rest of them. But you guys, whether it's your politicians or your quote-unquote journalists, your Don Lemons breaking into churches and all that sort of stuff, you are scaring the American voters, and for good reason, because you people are insane.